If your child is still having pooping accidents, you're not alone. I'm Jill Castle. I'm a pediatric dietitian and mom of 4, and today we're talking about a step-by-step plan to fix encopresis. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly what that plan looks like. So in my last video, I just explained what encopresis is and what's actually happening in your child's body. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to go watch that next. When kids withhold their poop and they don't move their bowels on a regular basis, stool backs up in the rectum stretches out, stool gets larger, it becomes harder to pass, and your child can lose all sensation of what's going on down there. What can happen is the stool, looser, softer stool from above in the GI tract keeps coming down, and it will work its way around that large, hard stool, and it will leak out into the underpants. It looks like diarrhea. Many parents think it is diarrhea, but it's oftentimes a sign of very chronic constipation. So let's talk about how to fix that. The first thing I want you to understand is this is not a quick fix. This is a retraining of your child's body. Encopresis is a body function issue. It's not a behavioral issue. And honestly, it takes time for your child's body to learn how to work normally again. If your expectation is that this is going to resolve in a couple of days, you are going to be deeply disappointed and very frustrated. This is a process, and when you can repeat the process consistently over time, that's when you will start to see improvement. And if you're working on your child's nutrition or how you feed them or want to know more about development and eating, I give you all of this in my program, the Nourished Child Blueprint. It's linked below. Go check it out. I'd love to see you in that DIY course. The first step really is to evaluate your child's constipation with your pediatrician. Really look at it and make sure your pediatrician understands that your child is having pooping accidents, and really evaluate if you're dealing with a scenario where it's just a brief time of constipation, or if we are really looking at patterns that are contributing to chronic constipation. Oftentimes, if it's chronic constipation, the first step is getting a full clean out. Again, you're going to talk with your pediatrician about this. You're not going to do this on your own. It needs to be done under medical supervision. But when parents take partial fixes, like increasing fiber or having their child run around outside a little bit, they expect that the chronic constipation will resolve itself. And it unfortunately oftentimes does not happen that way. If stool is backed up in the rectum and it is not cleaned out, the body isn't able to reset itself. Specifically, the signals that tell your child they need to go to the bathroom, that sensation can get muffled. It can get dull. And then pretty soon your child's not having the urge, or they're not feeling the urge. When that happens, the likelihood of pooping in your pants is higher. So this means working with your pediatrician on a clean out plan. This is not a failure. It's actually quite common, and it just is the faster path, in my opinion, to resetting your child's body signals and getting on top of this chronic constipation. The second step is to really work on keeping your child's stool soft. This becomes a priority because hard stools are painful to pass and they will discourage your child from going to the bathroom. And so then that gets you into that withholding issue again. This is where fiber from the diet, fluids, and ongoing medication can really help. So high fiber foods like fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grain products, nuts, seeds, these things help raise the level of fiber in the diet, keep the stool softer and easier to pass. At the same time, you need to make sure your child's getting enough fluids, water, flavored seltzer, a small amount of juice during the day. If your child's drinking more than 3 cups of milk a day, that could be contributing to their constipation. So I would recommend you limit that to no more than 3 cups or 24 ounces of fluid milk a day. Sometimes kids will need ongoing medication like a Miralax or a stool softener to keep that stool soft and passable. Again, this is not a failure on your part or your child's part. It's part of keeping that GI tract moving and allowing the conditions so that your child can eliminate stool regularly. Oftentimes, kids will need more support for a longer period of time in order to keep the routine going. When parents decide that they don't need to do the Miralax anymore, or they can lighten up on the fiber, or they're not worried so much about fluid intake, that's when this chronic constipation and encopresis can come back. The third step is to establish a daily toilet routine. This means getting your child to the bathroom at the same time every day. Preferably, I think it works best when you do it in the morning after breakfast. Once a child eats food, there's a reflex called the gastrocolic reflex, and it stimulates the colon to contract and move things out of the body. That's why after breakfast, it's strategic to have your child go spend 5 or 10 minutes in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, have them bring a book, listen to music, bring a little toy gadget, but to sit there for 5 or 10 minutes, preferably also with their feet up on a stool. That straightens out the colon and makes it easier for stool to pass. Remember, you're helping your child retrain their body, and part of that is recognizing the sensation that you have to go, number 2. Because when that rectum stretches out and the nerve endings become desensitized, it's really hard for your child to be able to predict in time that they have to go. So during this retraining phase, it is completely normal for kids to still have pooping accidents. It's a process. It's not going to be corrected overnight. But the more consistent you can be with toilet time, with fiber and fluids, with the medications that your pediatrician prescribes for your child, if you can be consistent with all of that, the retraining phase will pay off. And the last step is to make sure you're protecting your child emotionally. A lot of kids feel very ashamed. They feel terrible. Some of them get teased at school. And we want to make sure we're doing everything that we can to help our kids feel confident and to minimize the shame. If things don't improve, or you've been working on this for a long time and your child is still pooping in their pants and having pooping accidents, then I would reconnect with your pediatrician and consider working with a pediatric gastroenterologist, because there might be a different condition underlying this whole situation. If you haven't watched my first video, which talks about why this actually happens, I'll link it right here. You can go watch it right now. It explains a lot behind what is really happening in your child's body. Thanks for being here today, and I'll see you in the next video.